Welcome to Hush. Each week, we open another door best left closed. Tonight, that door leads us into a story that feels too real to dismiss. A story that unfolded within walls we've all walked past, maybe even lived within. Welcome to Episode 1, The Vanishing Room. Some stories begin with a scream. This one begins with silence and surveillance footage that no one can explain. The footage was recorded late one November night inside a small apartment complex in Portland, Maine. A maintenance worker named Paul Sheridan reviewed the building's cameras after a routine tenant complaint. The footage showed one of the residents, 34-year-old Amber Reese, entering her apartment at 11:42 p.m. She never came out. But that's not what made Paul's hands shake as he watched. What unsettled him most was that 5 hours later, a faint flicker glowed beneath Amber's door. A shadow passed by the peephole from the inside. Then, the hallway lights dimmed, and the camera froze. By morning, apartment 213 was empty. Completely empty. No signs of struggle. No Amber. No furniture. Not even her toothbrush. Just a room stripped bare, like it had been erased. Detective Claire Houghton led the initial investigation. She wasn't new to disappearances, but this wasn't a disappearance. It was an extraction. Amber Reese had no record, no known enemies, and lived quietly. Her neighbors described her as pleasant but odd, often awake late, talking to herself through walls. One man claimed she taped over her vents and kept her cell phone wrapped in tinfoil. Her laptop, recovered from the building dumpster, was corroded by salt water. The drive was damaged beyond repair, except for one recovered audio file. Detective Houghton listened to it dozens of times. Amber's voice, anxious but clear, whispered in the recording. "They're testing something on us. I can feel the vibration in the walls. It's not in my head. It's in the room." Seconds later, a low mechanical hum, then static. Within weeks, similar cases surfaced across multiple cities: Chicago, Denver, Seattle. The details varied, but one unnerving thread remained. Each missing person had filed noise complaints with their landlords before vanishing. Several had reported hearing the hum, a low-frequency vibration. Unable to forget Amber's case, Claire began investigating off the record. She broke into the abandoned apartment complex after hours. Behind freshly painted drywall in Amber's old unit, she discovered unusual etchings. Concentric circles with perfect precision, too precise for hand drawing. In the center, etched deeper than the rest, were 5 words: "IT watches through the signal." Then, she saw something impossible. When shining her flashlight into the etchings, the walls shimmered faintly, like wet glass. Minutes later, her phone screen lit up on its own. A video began playing. Grainy footage of her standing in the same room. Same angle. Same timestamp. Except, in the reflection behind herself, stood another figure. She spun around. Nothing. Only the empty room, and the soft hum returning through the vents. Weeks later, Claire vanished. Her badge was found near the Portland waterfront, laid gently on a park bench. But 30 minutes before her phone went dark, she sent an email to an old colleague. Attached was one final file. Cell tower data from every disappearance site. When plotted on a map, the coordinates formed a perfect geometric pattern. An arc that spanned from Portland to San Francisco. Experts called it random coincidence. Others believed it was part of an advanced acoustic manipulation test. Weaponized resonance experiments cloaked behind civilian infrastructure upgrades. The truth? No one could say. 2 years later, construction resumed in the original Ravenwood complex. New tenants began moving in, including a young woman who recorded strange vibrations late at night. Her name was Amara Reese. Same initials. Same floor. Different spelling. Within 3 weeks, apartment 213 was emptied again. Same way. Same silence. Same hum. Some stories refuse to stay stories. They echo. They evolve. They find new rooms to live in. Ask yourself, do you hear the hum at night? The sound that makes your chest tighten, your heartbeat quicken, even though you tell yourself it's nothing. Maybe it's an old building. Maybe it's the wind. Or maybe the signal's been watching you all along. Until next time.
If you enjoyed this chilling thriller, be sure to follow, like, and subscribe for more untold stories that will keep you hooked.